Video games have been obsessed with speed since Sonic the Hedgehog and blast processing. Games competed to make characters move faster, the screen to scroll faster, and to cover as much ground as possible in a level. It was all about adrenaline-fueled twitch reflexes and precision. But games like this were always held back by technology. TVs were small and low resolution, and systems really couldn't pump out a good enough frame rate for the quick motions to be smooth. Eventually, 3D gaming took over and high-speed side-scrollers were left behind, only resurfacing as flash games like the classic Rooftop Skater. Roll 7 takes these older games to the next level with their latest, OlliOlli2, Welcome to Olliwood. It comes out as part of a compilation pack on PS4 today, but I'll be playing it on PC.
OlliOlli takes full advantage of HD displays. Your character is tiny, but the zoomed out view helps the never-ending rush of obstacles accelerating your way. You have a handful of tricks and techniques to overcome them, including flip tricks, manuals, reverts, grinds, and spins. The speed of the game isn't just how fast your character is moving, it's also the perfect timing you have to achieve to stay on your board. And with that, control is everything. Just like the skate flick it control, you do flip tricks based on different motions of the stick, although it's the left stick this time, not the right. To land on the ground, you have to hit the landing button at the last possible second. To land on a rail, you push a direction on the stick right as you land, being careful not to hit the landing button. You can also manual by inputting left or right as you land. At its heart, that's all there is to the game. To add complication, you can use the bumpers to spin, add modifiers to grinds, and do reverts. Every move is simple, but it's the timing that gives the game its challenge. Think Guitar Hero. There's no button combination that's too hard, but it's the back-to-back notes with exact timing that makes it tough. And just like Guitar Hero, the more mistakes you make, the more momentum you lose until you eventually fail. Each level has a handful of challenges, from specific tricks to score totals to collecting certain items. I would have liked to see a little more variety here. Doing a high combo and getting a high score often go hand in hand and can be done in a single run. Speaking of the levels though, they're all beautiful. Each series of levels is based off of a movie genre, and gives some new colors and background elements to enjoy, but it's always careful to put playability first. At high speed, it's still easy to see which landing surfaces are ground and which are grindable based on the color scheme. This also helps the game feel fair. If you hit the wrong button, it's because you were too slow, not because the design was confusing. Another thing that looks great is the animation. I really appreciate the level of attention that went into animating all these sprites. There are dozens of tricks, including some cool and uncommon ones like anti-Casper flips and 540 shove-its. The tricks don't really matter until you get to pro mode unless it's part of a challenge. You can get through a level doing 5-0s and heel flips over and over until you get to the end, and you'll be pretty much okay. I didn't have too much trouble with anything until I hit this stage, where I had to do a double heel flip. I looked the trick up in the Trictionary, and I couldn't even understand what I was supposed to do. Apparently a lot of people were confused because the developers posted a video on YouTube showing how to do it. But even with the video tutorial, I wasn't able to get the trick to work. I tried it over and over, carefully matching the exact movement, and I just kept doing varial kickflips, literally hundreds of times. I eventually fluked into landing one and got lucky enough to actually complete the combo I had to do in order to complete the objective.
In my case, it's completely possible that the issue was with my controller. The game's system requirements specify an Xbox 360 or PS4 controller as strongly recommended, but I was playing with a generic Logitech like a chump. I had issues earlier with plugging the controller into a USB hub instead of right into the computer. The game lagged a tiny amount, but it was completely unplayable, considering how important the timing is. If you're considering getting this game for PC, be very careful with how you set everything up, or just get the console or Vita version.
I had a lot of difficulty getting through one of the later levels. I kept rolling right off the edge of the platform, even though I swear I was ollieing. Again, probably an issue with my controller, but for anyone whose TV doesn't have a game mode, or there's a whisper of Bluetooth interference, you might be in for a frustrating time. The game even warns you about that when it starts up. You need the best setup you can get in order to play this game because it gets intense. You'll wear out the instant restart button on your controller once you get a few levels in. It's a great feature, I just wish I didn't have to use it so often. The difficulty gets to be too much. In later levels, you're required to land everything sick. You can't make a single mistake. And some levels have design issues. In this one, you can't hit the ramp going too fast or you'll hit the top of the entrance. And the next level is the opposite. No matter how many times I tried, I couldn't keep enough speed to finish this level-long combo. I needed 10 more feet and just couldn't pull it off. Making it just a tiny bit more forgiving could have made it a lot more fun. Some reviewers have said that this game builds off of the difficulty of the last one, taking it from tough but fair all the way up to hair-pullingly frustrating. For me, Pro mode was too much. I could do a few of the challenges, but it just wasn't fun spending hours trying something over and over. But if you're a real glutton for punishment, it gets even worse. Rad mode is unlocked after you clear Amateur and Pro mode. There are no new challenges, but you have to land every trick perfectly or you'll instantly bail. If you're the kind of person that likes grinding away at a game for weeks or months, then great, you found your next challenge. Luckily, there are other things to do. You can play the spots mode and just try to set a high score in these mini stages. That's pretty fun. The levels themselves aren't as difficult, and it's fun to just fire it up and play for a few minutes.
That's the greatest strength of this game. You can hop into it and play for 5 minutes and then quit. You don't have to worry about finishing a level before the next autosave, sitting through cutscenes, or lengthy load times. If you start to get frustrated by a crazy challenge, just set it down and try it again later. So, should you buy this game? If you're looking for a way to scratch the skateboard itch while you're injured or it's snowing outside, then there are better options. This game really doesn't feel like skateboarding in that way. In Skate, you can just roll around and try to put together a combo or a line. Shaun White skateboarding or even the Tony Hawk games do a better job of that. OlliOlli really doesn't need to be a skateboarding game. It could be a dude in a jetpack and still play pretty much the same. That said, it takes good advantage of the skateboarding theme, and there's plenty of depth to keep interested. They jammed in tons of flip tricks, stances, and grinds, and for the most part, everything is accurate. The nollie spin directions are wrong, and they use the term shove-it flip for some weird reason. That's what they call varial kickflips in Spanish. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Kickflip underflips are also animated wrong. But even if it doesn't feel like skating, it's still a great game, especially for the price. The downloadable version is $15. A physical version for PS4 just came out, combining both games and the soundtrack for $30. I think it's definitely worth it. So what about you? Have you played OlliOlli? What did you think about it? I'm especially curious if there are any control issues on the console or Vita. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.